Everyone, welcome back to our weekly abuse of Legend of Dragoon. How is everyone doing? Hey Chocolate, hey Pony Bro. All right, sorry about being a little bit late here, but I had some stuff to do. I'm just gonna really quickly clear out the code that I've been working on here. Chefing it up, making some food. All right. So let's start off by taking a look at what has been done here over the past couple of weeks. We skipped last week because I wasn't feeling well again. Hey, Crazy Tales, how's it going? I don't think I recognize your name. Pony Bro classic of fried sausage and buttered ramen. Sounds pretty good to me. So, I have been working on a lot of code cleanup, not so much rendering stuff. However, TFC has closed quite a few issues over the past week or two. Let's take a quick look at what he's been doing. I think he's mostly been working on world map stuff. I think, yeah, he's gotten the Coolon map working really well. You can actually see him flying you around now, dropping you back off. Not the most glamorous thing, but another box ticked off. Yes, I've basically just been nonstop yeeting code left, right, and center. So let's take a look at the current state of battle, because that's what we're going to be working on here a little bit more. Who do we want to transform? Let's do Rose. So we've got nice high resolution rendering going here. That is not quite right. Interesting. I thought that that was something that I had broken on the other branch. Let's take a look at the recent commits. GL branch. Did I switch back? Let me check, make sure I switched back. Yeah, I did switch back. Okay. Yeah, I've been pulling a ton of stuff out of the memory emulation layer, so it's very, very likely for some things to have gotten broken there. For now, let's just um, let's backtrack by one commit and just see if that is what caused it. In the past 3 or 4 days, we've made probably 7,000 lines of code worth of changes, of a lot of very, very experimental stuff. Finally getting rid of the last remnants of the emulation layer, so definitely expected for some weirdness to happen. Okay, so we've still got it there. Gonna be one of these. Let's backtrack to here. Won't take too long to figure out where this happened. It's only a handful of commits. So if there was any one thing that you and chat would like to see in high definition, what would it be? It is just re-unpacking the files right now because I updated the unpacker version. Won't take too long. I personally want to see Dart's first transformation, but I think that counts as FMV, so wouldn't look all that different. Dart's first transformation, I'm pretty sure that's just rendered in the combat engine. The whole cutscene right after the Kongal fight, right? Only thing worth gazing upon is the one and only true Dragoon Pelpy. I can't say I disagree. Yeah, Tim. So that is actually that's not an FMV. That's rendered in engine. Fatty Pocket says, "Will you be updating the character images in the battle phase?" So for the main Severed Chains project, we aren't actually changing any of the models or textures or anything like that. However, uh, the assets that they included with the game are much, much higher quality than the PS1 was capable of displaying. So even though we aren't changing them, they do look much better. And we're also opening the door for modders to be able uh, to be able to do their own uh, to be able to make their own textures and models as well. So things like the upscale project, for example, they will be able to do new models, new textures. All right, let's see if we've still got the issue here. Yeah, we do. So, which commit did I check out there? 16DD. We are almost back at the start here, so this will not take too much longer. Oops. I am pressing the wrong button. That's what's going on. Yeah, the changes to the math code made so much more of a difference than I ever expected it to. And I mean, switching to hardware rendering as well. So much of a difference. Does Rose still clip at the opening of the game? I'm not 100% sure what you mean, Tim. It's an awesome project. I've played this game several times. Yeah, well, I hope that you will be interested in doing another playthrough once we get the OpenGL update ready. Replaying it now after like 20 plus years, yeah, it's hard to believe that it has been so long since this game came out. There we go. All right. Tracked down which commit was causing that issue. Yeah, you can really see just how much of a difference is. Let me disable the camera controls here. We can free cam, recompile this file. Yeah, Lepre, well, one of the big differences between the new modern rendering and the old rendering is that um, we do depth testing based on every single pixel, whereas the PS1 does it per face. So that's why you get a lot of triangles like sticking through other things, which also leads into Tim's question about Rose's leg clipping through her armor. Um, it may still clip a bit, but it would only be the pixels that are actually physically protruding through it rather than like the entire faces. And let's do some flying around here. So for anyone who has not seen this yet, we've got free cam support here. You can really see just how much detail there is in these the textures that are included with the base game. The PS1 obviously was not nearly capable of actually rendering anything this high of quality. Fortunately for us, they included the textures in this quality anyway. Huh. Yep, free cam. You do have to make a code modification right now to be able to use it, but I plan to add a special hotkey at some point to allow you to flip into free cam at any point. Yeah. Once we finish the OpenGL update, the guys working on the upscale project will be starting to work on that again. They've both been actually working on the Severed Chains code with me, so they've been very distracted from it. And they are also retargeting the project for Severed Chains just because the emulator support just is not good enough. It was really laggy, whereas with Severed Chains it just won't be an issue at all. But yeah, I know a lot of people are excited for that. I guess we come look at the mouse as well. Look at those teeth. But yeah, we have far fewer issues with clipping now. Like if you look like at Kongol's elbow here, for example, um, before you'd be able to see like entire surfaces rendered at the wrong or apparent wrong depth, even though technically to the PS1 it was correct. But for us now with the hardware rendering, it's per pixel, so it looks a lot less janky. All right, I'm just going to make a quick note that this commit broke the lighting, and then we can get to work. Yeah, exactly. It really isn't very noticeable when you're dealing with the camera distances that are, default in retail. So we did have a request from Tim to see Dart's first transformation. So let's take a look at that. We'll backtrack here. Fortunately, I keep a lot of saves when I play. Uh, this one already has the Dragoon spirits, so it must be this save here. We'll just plow through this pretty quickly. Yeah, it's been a while since we saw you, Tim. Good to have you back, though. All right, so we're just gonna go fast forward here. Can't be mean to Shauna. All right, we have to go back in and talk to them again. Yeah, true. I'm just going to set the hit points to one though, and then we'll just one-shot everything. We're in fast motion here right now, so some of the textures aren't loading properly, but that's fine. We'll just set these guys to one hit point each. Again, going in fast motion. We'll slow it down when we get to Kongle so everything loads right. Yeah, it's just because oh shoot. I forgot that TFC fixed that bug on a later commit than one we're on now. All right, we'll just skip to the fight itself. Encounter IDs. Was it renamed to this? Yes. All right. So Angle 1 is 388. Let's go in with Kongle. I don't know if this is actually going to work. This may or may not crash the game. We'll see. Kongle throwing Kongle. Yeah, it didn't like that. All right, we'll do it legit this time. Well, not legit, but we'll do it with Dart in the party. But can we do it with the Divine Dragon? Okay, now we're just screwing with things. Okay, it very much didn't like that. Yes, Kongle divided by Kongle is indeed undefined. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it right. We'll do it right. Just find a save with. I suppose we can just go here and put Dart in the party. All right, let's do as normal of a party as we can muster for this fight. We'll use Dart and Albert. Nightbot is saying the right thing. Amazing. Oh god. Alright, I guess I should have set the battle stage, but whatever. We get to see this happen in Forest instead of Hoax. Yep. Legend of Dragoon does not like doing things that it was not designed to do, as you can clearly see. Hey, Mr. Can't Stop the Robot. Alright, I'm gonna be careful to not set the speed multiplier to 0 this time. I would like to be clear that the game is not actually this unstable. We're just doing things that it is not designed to do. Yeah, the OST is super good. I don't think there's one bad song on it. Did I add the win button? Yes, I did. Forgot about that. I added a win button. It's a secret. You press it and you win. Ta-da! Yeah, Sony seems to have kind of just, I don't know. I gotta be honest with you though, I think the community can do a better job than Sony could. I mean, look at the state that they released the game in when they added it to the PS4 and PS5 emulation. Like it wasn't even playable. All right, we'll actually get the cutscene this time. Still missing a lot of special effects, and not everything's rendering correctly. But seeing it like it's never been seen before. Ah, that's a interesting camera angle. No sweat. I think I've got the audio on the wrong. No, I don't. For some reason I cannot hear it. Oh no, I can. It's just pretty quiet. We should embiggen Dart. He's got some real sad looking eyes here. Let's see what. Yeah, rotate him like that. We'll move him down a bit. And not what I wanted. That was also not what I wanted. All right, good enough. Not the most detailed model here. I don't know if he lost his neck or if he's got a real big neck. Also kind of looks like he's wearing goggles. Or maybe he's got a bit of a tan line on his face here. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. I think you can. Got a little bit of a tan line. Funny enough, most of his face is not a texture. Um, or well, I should say the way that they usually do his face is actually two different textures. They'll have like his eyes and then like a small gap and then his mouth. Actually, allow me to illustrate this. I wish that this would stop getting stuck. Um, yeah, this is what resulted in dirt, as we have come to affectionately call him. You can see one rectangle for his eyes and then another texture for the bottom half. Not really sure why they did that, but they did that. You never know when you're going to get embiggening in this stream, Chocolate. You just never know. Now we've got Giant Dart wandering around. Oh, okay, he's regular Dart again. You can really see how much detail they put into the armor and his belt and stuff. And, there's just no way at all that the PS1 could ever render anything like that. The models are finally almost up to the same quality as the backgrounds. Yes, his rotation was off because I had embiggened him and rotated him, just so we could get a better look at his submap model. Yeah, no, not a bug. Tim, I have actually in the past, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 streams ago, I did actually replace Dart's submap model with his Dragoon model, so you could walk around as a Dragoon. Yeah, anyway, this isn't a playthrough stream, even though we've been doing a lot of playing in the last few. Um, so let's get down to business. I do want to take a quick look at that commit, just to see if there's anything obvious. Let me just see which hash that was. 16DD. Unfortunately, these commits have been very, very large. Yeah, uh, well over 1,000 lines changed. Let's just take a very quick peek here. What changed between the... I think I just renamed them. Yeah, not a whole lot in battle itself. Might have done some stuff in the effects code. No. All right. Uh, we'll deal with that later. So, let's see if we can get particle effects working. That would be a very, very big thing. So, we'll open up the particle manager. We need to look at the renderers. I want to say the quad particles would probably be the most used, since those are just like regular rectangular textures. So let's take a look at the rendering code here. Very, very simple command getting built. All right. Two different commands. This seems to be, okay, so this is passing it into another function here. So this is updating the position. All right. We can just do our quad builder. Most of this can just be copied over directly. Have changed how the UVs are set up, simplified it. So we will do that, and UV size will be, yeah, just the width and height. So we can just do, yeah, we'll do UV size, effect dot width, and effect dot height. We're just going to do this real quick and dirty for now. Not going to bother cleaning up or anything. And since this is still being used elsewhere, I'm just going to make a full copy of it. That works on the new code. Um, okay, so this is a little weird what it's doing. Hmm. So I think we should be able to apply a rotation to it rather than doing all of this. What is this reference? Okay, I think this is, yeah, this is doing a pre-transformation, so we will render this as an orthographic in the orthographic projection. Um, and we have our Z depth as well. Okay, not 100% sure that this is going to be right, but we will give it a shot. Let's see where are we? Render quad particle. Um, Instead of the command, we will pass a builder. Um, and we also need a matrix for the transforms. We'll pass that in as well. And with this, we'll be able to build our transformation matrix. Matrix. Rotation, and on what axis would that be? I want to say it would be the Z axis. And then we will queue it with the render engine. Now, I'm not doing any cleanup here whatsoever. Hopefully this will not cause any terrible issues. Um, Crash my GPU or anything. We're building a whole lot of geometry. Let's see if this works. I don't have high hopes, to be honest with you, but crazier things have happened. I'm pretty sure that Miranda's transformation and spells use quad particles, so we will give her a try. Okay, yeah, we had a lot of particles being allocated there, but nothing getting rendered, so I don't think that that has worked. force these particles to always render on top of everything, just to see if they are rendering, but just in the background. Star Children, yeah, has a lot of particles as well. Seeing lots of particles getting allocated again, but nothing actually being built. Let's take a look at the packet and see if we can figure anything out here. Sorry about the stuck sounds, it's just because I have it paused. Those colors need to be scaled down. That's one issue, but it is not the issue. Okay, those positions are an issue. Oh, we don't have a size. So they are all size 0. Okay. That makes sense. Let's fix that. Um, so this should be our width, and should be uh oh, also hmm. Okay. I see some more issues here. Okay, so we're going to set our translations a bit differently. Okay, yeah. So this definitely was not quite right. We want this to be width effect dot width. Really, it's half width, but we won't worry about that. So we want our position to be negative width, negative height. Actually, we won't do this. We'll do that down here. And then the sizing will be the width and height. Jump back out here. We're going to fix the colors as well while we're here. Actually, I think I can just pass the vector in. Yeah, that's a lot easier. Yep, that is fine. And out here, we will just set the Z value since we're setting the others in there in the method. Um, so if I have accounted for everything, this should work now. Oh, true, the feather. Well, do the feathers have their own renderer? It might still call the particle effect renderer, but I'm not sure about that. I know there were a lot of particles being allocated there. Okay, so the guard effect also allocated a bunch of particles, but we're not seeing them, so something is still not working. Let's take a look at this again. So our transforms, those look normal. Let's look at our quad. Color lookup table looks right. Our colors look probably right now. Positions, size, both seem fine. UVs look good. UV size looks good. VRAM position is probably fine. Um, we should have a BPP. I want to say the old builder did that automatically. Yes, it did. Okay. So that might also be an issue. First started doing the original graphics rewrite when we added in scaling and everything. I was pretty fast and loose with a lot of this stuff because we were just kind of developing it on the fly. Let's see if this works. We've had pretty good luck with getting stuff working in the past, but every once in a while we'll run into some hiccups. Still nothing. Let's take another look. Yeah, so that is all fine now. I'm thinking they're probably just getting rendered in the wrong spot. It's a little tricky translating all of this stuff into modern rendering. Let's try rendering it all on top. Others use a sprite renderer. Okay. Gotcha. Interesting that we're still not seeing anything. Even with it being viewed on top. I wonder if it could be due to the rotation. Let's get rid of that. We might also be overloading the GPU with all of those particle effects, so I'm going to kill this so we can transition to a different game state. That'll clear out all those allocated things. We should see a bunch of, yeah, a ton of leaked particles. Those should all be cleaned up now, and we will jump back into battle. Huh. Still not seeing anything. Let's try healing it up really big. And also disabling translucency. No, still nothing. We are definitely getting into the render call. I'm going to get rid of the Z offset as well. This is very, very strange. It certainly seems like this is all correct. We've got our BPP, got the color lookup table, we've got colors. We have what seems like a reasonable position and size. One more thing I would like to try here. We should only be setting the positional size. Let's give that a shot and see what happens. Full screen is something that we'll be adding pretty soon. We hadn't bothered before since we were just using a not very good software renderer. But now that we're reworking all of the graphics, we'll be adding that for this release. There is a program that you can use to make anything full screen. The name of it, I literally forget every single time that someone asks this question. Does anybody remember what that was called? Let's try a transformation and see if we see anything. Yeah, I have been trying the guard. We're just kind of hoping that I might see something if I actually did a transformation, but no such luck. Let's try using a position of 0 and just use the transformation matrix transfer. Yeah, it's used a few times. You can see all the allocated particles flying up the screen, flying up the console window. But we're just not getting anything for some reason. Just gonna check here and make sure there's nothing else that would be initialized differently. No. So we'll set a... Oh, I think I just thought of something. We might need to use the GPU offset. Hmm. Uh, Now, will this work? We've got the Z set to effectively 0 right now, so that could be causing it to not work here. Let's make sure this is all... I'm going to try doing this. Normally, recompile. Damn, was really hoping that that was going to work. Why is the Z 0? Um, that could be an issue. I might be getting called. Oh, yep. There we go. Okay, so let's close out of this and fix this a bit. Um, so the manager's Z value needs to not be 0. Is that actually getting set anywhere? Getting set right there. And I think that's it. Unless I'm blind. I'm not seeing anywhere else that it's set aside from where it's copied from another one, but that would still just be 0. Affected, yeah, so this is the only spot that that is actually set. I'm just gonna give this a default of 1 for now. We will re-enable translucency. And oh, I also want to remove this from overlay. Should not be the case. All right, let's see how this looks. Yep, that looks pretty good. Yep, there's our particles. Let's take a look at Star Children. Yeah, we got the dust cloud particles. We've got all kinds of particles here. All clouds. Hey, Drew. One of the annoying drawbacks of Dragoon mode is that accessory effects don't happen, like gain 10 MP or heal each turn doesn't happen in Dragoon form. That is true. We could probably add an option for addressing that. Also, TFC, is it just me, or are the snow particles here a lot smaller than they are in retail? I remember them being a lot more visible. Okay, let's come in here and we will try re-enabling rotation and see if that still works. It'd be kind of funny to have to be in Dragoon mode with a ring on that gives you back SP or something. Yeah, the rotation's working too. That dust is definitely spinning. Still got lots of other particle types to implement. So we're not going to see like the meteor fragments or anything here, but we are seeing little effects there. We also didn't do the sub instances here. So let's take a look at that. Because there is still more to these effects than what we're seeing. Yeah, Kongal was really hungry. Weird alpha thing on Dragoon Kongal's left shoulder armor. Hey, Justin. Okay, so before we do this, let's see if we can figure out what Drew is talking about. We will jump back him. Let's see if we can see Kongal transforming in free cam. Particles and stuff are not going to be in the right spot, but yeah, bet you never thought you'd see this. Victory pose missing the left shoulder pad. Okay, so let's do an attack. Actually, I want to look at this too. Okay, I think I kinda saw it for a second, but I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll have to take a closer look at some point. But it was kind of cool to see that at a different camera angle. Either way. Okay, so what do we need to do here? So this is reading the X value from the other packet. And loading those directly into the positions here. Okay, so these are just plain untextured quads. Is on Ryu. So we don't need that anymore, which means we also don't need for these. In order to do right, we're gonna have to change how this is being done for sure. So I think I want to say these are using the exact same setup. It seems very strange that they would just be rendering over top of the other particles. I think I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm going to just leave now. We'll just ignore this for the moment. Now that we do have this working, we should clean this up. Okay, I'm going to split this view. Do we have, I think we have initializers for the particles as well. Yes, initializers. Uh, Unfortunately, there are 65 of them and not one per particle type. So that is unfortunate. Okay, so let's see here. What can we do to make this a little bit more sane? We should be able to scale using this. It looks like the size is predetermined. Now, I can never remember if we need to scale before or after the rotation. If this looks completely broken, we will know. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, that looked right. Yeah, that looked right too. Pretty sure Astral Drain has a bunch of particles. That'll look pretty good. Don't think we broke it by doing that. Basically, I'm just looking to find a way to build this packet up front. So we can recolor it here rather than coloring it in the packet itself. Are you thinking that they're looking too small, Justin? Hmm. All right. I will keep that in mind and look into that later, just in the interest of keeping things moving along here. Just cleaning this up a little bit right now so that it doesn't overload my GPU by creating a million different objects. I want to pull this out of here and move it up here. We only want to actually rebuild this if we have not yet built it. See here, where is effect coming from? Wait. Oh, I put some instance instead of the particle itself. That is why. Put that in here. Then we have if effect dot object is null. Forms and that. And now we just need to figure out what to do with this. I mean, I think this just also gets pulled out because those are going to change, which means we don't need to pass the effect, or no, we don't need to pass the builder in, although we also don't have to pass the effect in. Both of those parameters. And these go up here. The width and height are the same, so we just use a single size called Mm. And now we just need to go to the destructor and make sure we clean up after ourselves. Just add a delete method here. And then we will just call effect dot delete and make sure that we haven't broken everything. Let's take a look at some of Dart's effects because all of his fire effects are very, very particle heavy. Now we're still only rendering one type of particle effect, but I think a lot of his are probably quads, so yeah, a lot of this was not rendering before. That's a pretty big difference. Let's look at Final Burst. Hey, Zychronics. Okay, actually not a whole lot of particles on that one. Maybe Flame Shot would have been a better idea. Yeah, quality assurance. All right, let's try this again. Let's cook some more mice. Looking pretty good. Lots of particles. All right, I noticed another issue that I need to log there. Do that real quick. Spell list background stops rendering after first byte. I already know what the problem is there. That's a pretty easy fix, but we won't bother with that right now. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. Now, another big one is going to be the TMD particle renderer. So this is going to be like basically like 3D models for particles. Okay, so we've got this render TMD particle here. This looks like pretty standard stuff. They are doing some of this weirdness here that we saw in one of the other renderers. Yeah, seriously, poor PS1. This is used, for example, when we saw Kongo's meteor strike earlier, when it just looked like he was eating the meteor. Um, Normally there'd be a like a bunch of like smaller meteor parts that kind of fly off. Those are TMDs. A lot of the ice effects also use TMD particles because there's like chunks of ice popping off and stuff like that. All right, so let's take a look at this. Target arrows. I think we mostly just use the standard on Q here. Yeah, okay. So this is the one that I wanted to reference. Back to the particle manager. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on here. So this is setting up some transformations. These effects are all pretty complicated. Okay, this is actually updating the lighting. This is something that we're gonna have to take into account. I think there's special handling in the old renderer for the battle lighting. I'm going to add a ticket for that as well. Some battle renderers need to take into account special battle lighting. Hmm. Okay, what do we have here? So we get the transforms passed in. Um, I think these are going to be fairly similar. Probably be called local world, or it's just transforms. So if we are in a different than if we are in modern rendering. Any idea when the HD backgrounds are all complete? Sorry if it's a dumb question. I pop in every now and then, see where it's at. Super stoked for this project. Hey, bro, dude, Justin. So the upscale developers are currently working with me on Severed Chains. So they're not working on the upscale project. The reason being is that they have chosen to retarget the project for Severed Chains rather than for emulators. The emulators just are too laggy with the upscales. Uh, the support just isn't good enough there. Um, and they need us to finish the rendering update before the upscales will be compatible with Severed Chains. So once we finish this update, they will be able to go back to working on that. Um, I can't give you a timeline for their work. Zycronics may be in the chat and might have an idea of how long it will take after this update is done. Um, that's in the near future or anything. They do still have a fair bit of stuff to do. But once we finish this update, they will be going back to it. Okay, this is all very, very similar. Do the bigger submaps mess with map connections? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. What do you mean by map connections? So with the much larger background images, we just scale them and render them at the appropriate resolution. So whereas with the current game's backgrounds, they're actually not big enough, so they're getting scaled up. Um, the the upscale backgrounds will actually be like large enough for this much higher resolution. Um, so we'll still be scaling them to the same physical size, but they will be at a much higher resolution at that size. Rather than having like multiple duplicated pixels, um, they will just have, more pixels. Okay, so we should be able to pass in the effect object here. Oh, we do have the TMD object table. I think we can use that. TMD dot or wait, no, it's the D object that has, yeah, okay. So we'll need to pass in the object as well. And we need to figure out where this is getting set. Um, Actually, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't need to do that. Oh, we actually already have uh, so here we say, actually no, we'll do this back here out of the loop. We don't need to do it in the loop. If effect dot object is null, we use the object loader. That, then effect dot object. Um, Now, will this work? I don't think it will have the right color. We are setting the background color here, so it is possible, but I know there is some special lighting code. It might look mostly right, but the lighting will probably be a bit off. Well, that is if it renders at all, which we will very soon see. By the way, everyone, if you are liking what you were seeing, please don't forget to leave a like on the video. YouTube likes that quite a bit, so it helps us out a lot. And make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Oh, I'm seeing a bunch of rocks that just flew off there. So I think it's working. Yeah, share would be very much appreciated too. You know, the more viewers that we get, the more people we get playing, the better. Yeah, that is just working great. Um, I bet Maroon probably has TMD spells as well. Let's check that out. Of course, we've got everyone's favorite party here. Yeah, that's definitely a TMD particle effect there. Uh, I'll let I'll let chat pick. Oh, Justin's already said freezing ring. You beat me to it. Yeah, I mean, there you go. That's it right there. Definitely working. Bit of weirdness going on, but we will de-jank in time. Yeah, I know, it's still kind of blowing my mind too, just how good it is. Every time I boot up one of the older builds, um, like it just looks like gritty jello. Like, I mean, look how smooth this is. You can't get any better than this. It'll be really nice once we get combat up to 60 frames per second as well. Let's absolutely destroy this flying rat stay. This doesn't look quite right. I don't think that that water plane is in the right spot. Just throwing it out there. Oh, look, the ground's gone. That's weird. Um, no. You're lucky I even dignified that. All right. Make sure we log everything that we see. Don't want to forget about this stuff. As good as it's looking now, we've still got a lot of work ahead of us, having to, go through and figure out what's causing all these various orientation issues and things like that. But we'll get there. I mean, compare even, how it looks now, with the various things pointing the wrong way and, weird issues and stuff. It still looks so much better than it did when Drew and I started our playthrough stream. Like, it's not even comparable. Played this game for 24 years, and I do not think I've ever actually used the Blue Dragon spell. Yeah, I don't really use Maru that often. I mean, every time I play an RPG, I'm like, I'm gonna use a different set of characters this time. And I never use a different set of characters. I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's something that other people do as well. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just very set in my ways. Every time I'm like, yeah, no, I'm totally gonna use different characters, and yeah, just never happens. All right. Well, that is looking pretty good too. That one went much more smoothly than the quad one, but we did figure it out. Yeah, well, as much as they want you to use Dart, we have said screw that. There are some issues with no Dart right now, but we will tackle those once we have the time to do so. Actually, this game was made by Sony, not Square. A lot of people think that it was made by Square, but yeah, not so much. Glad you stuck it out. This project is the stuff of dreams. I tried it one time, but PS1 code is not very well documented. Yeah, uh, I mean, yeah, I'm glad that I stuck it out too. I mean, I have a very, very large project graveyard. Um, I've got a definitely got a bad habit of starting a project and then just kind of moving on whenever I find something that is more interesting to me or when something gets kind of old. Um, this is definitely the longest that I've ever worked on one project. And yeah, I don't know exactly what it is about it, but yeah, it just kind of keeps me interested. And it is nice having an audience of people who is excited for it. Normally, the projects that I do are just kind of like whatever weird thing I find interesting at that given time. And I mean, this was definitely a weird thing that I found interesting at a given time, and I didn't think it would get any traction, but you know, here we are. Just out of curiosity, once this project is completed and you taste sweet victory and have the best RPG playthrough in history, are you planning any more projects? Yes, actually. Um, we've still got quite a bit of work to do here. Um, there's finishing the OpenGL update, and then, going crazy with the modding API and just, blowing it wide open for whatever people want to do. But after that, I plan to reverse engineer and port Golden Sun as well in the same way. And actually, a few days ago, I did sort of go on a tangent and I reverse engineered well, I wrote a disassembler for ARM and thumb instructions assembly, which is what the Game Boy Advance uses. Um, that does also have a separate purpose, though, which is LOD related. Um, it's just kind of a happy coincidence that both the Game Boy Advance and Pocket Station use the same instruction set. So, A, we'll be able to use that disassembler to reverse engineer the Dabus minigame for Legend of Dragoon, and then B, once we are in a good state with severed chains, we'll be able to use that for Golden Sun as well. So, kind of win-win. I will say though that the MIPS assembly that the PS1 uses is so much simpler than ARM. ARM, I mean, I'm not gonna get crazy here and say that it's as bad as like x86 assembly, but it's way more complicated than MIPS. And it took a lot of reading to wrap my head around it enough to actually write a disassembler for it. But yeah, that's done now. So when the time comes, we will A, be able to reverse engineer the minigame, and then B, use it in the future for other things. Would you be attempting to merge Golden Sun and Lost Age so that saves can transfer without the password system? Um, Short answer, yes. Um, long answer, even though they are technically built on the same engine, the Lost Age is modified quite a bit. Um, Obviously, I don't know to what extent because I haven't actually looked at it. Um, but I do plan one way or another to include both of them in like the same game, the same port. You know, kind of once you finish one, you can automatically use the save in the next game. That's pretty far off in the distance though, in the future. We've still got a lot of LOD stuff ahead of us. Lots and lots of new features to add. I mean, if you take a look at our feature wish list, we've got a lot of stuff coming, up to and including networking um, for PvP, like staged PvP matches, so two people can choose specific parties, loadouts, levels, stats, etc., and fight against each other. And B, I would also like to implement a co-op mode where in combat, different people can control different party members. Mm. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the roadmap items that the most people are interested in for obvious reasons. Um, you know, it's kind of like the multiplayer support that has been added to other old games like Ocarina of Time. That's definitely a huge draw for people. I mean, a lot of people like being able to you know, experience games with others. So, you know, this kind of gives them that opportunity. Mm. And it's just a cool thing that we can say that you can do. You know, picture it kind of like old school like Pokemon Link battle. Something kind of like that, except you'll be able to choose like your equipment loadouts and like levels and things like that. We also plan on doing some other stuff like being able to swap characters out in battle or change editions in battle, like choose what edition you want to use, etc., etc. And of course, you know, none of this stuff would be like forced on the player. If you want to play like a regular vanilla playthrough, then you know, these will all be config options. We you know, don't we don't have any interest in like forcing new play styles on you know, people who are just coming back to like enjoy a game from their childhood. But at the same time, we do want to modernize the game for new audiences. Because of course there are some parts of the game that are a little rough around the edges. And you know, gaming has definitely evolved since 1999. And you know certain parts you know just don't really appeal or you know resonate with a Fortnite audience, we'll say. which is fine. Things change. Yeah, I think we all might. But yeah, the way that we're doing this, we can have the best of both worlds. We can have a vanilla Legend of Dragoon experience that you know and love, and we can also have mods that allow people to make their own game in the Legend of Dragoon engine. Oh yeah, no, this isn't an emulator. This is a native PC port. Like this is like fully running on the PC with no emulation whatsoever. It runs on Windows, Linux, Mac, Steam Deck, um, anything that runs any of those platforms. We support x86 architecture as well as ARM, so it can run on various handhelds. Basically, anything that you can put Linux on, you can run this. We do have the ability for this to run on Android phones as well. However, I personally do not have any interest in doing the Android development that would be necessary. So we would need someone to volunteer to do that. But it is entirely possible. Everything that we use is compatible with Android as well. Yeah, I mean it's going to be a little while until we get the OpenGL update finished. Like I said, we've still got a lot of work ahead of us, but yeah, it'll definitely be worth the wait. I mean, you've seen what it looks like. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to get 60 frames per second battle in here for the next release. I did some experimentation, but there are a lot of issues that need to be solved. This game was very, very, very much not written with changing frame rates in mind. Well, the game changes its frame rate a lot, but it's very controlled, and running it at anything other than those frame rates um, is very, very difficult because of the script engine. Um, but yeah, we already have 60 frames per second world map done, which I've shown, and we'll be doing 60 FPS submaps as well. The battle will have to come at a later time though, or you know, we would never get this done. But yeah, you can really see how smooth it is. It makes such a big difference. But I mean, even just the graphical updates that we've done in battle already, it almost looks like it's uh, a higher frame rate, even though it's not. Also, I think TFZ may have accidentally fixed the issues that we were having with world map navigation being difficult because I can just walk through here easily now. There was a bug that made it really difficult to get on the path up to Leningrad, but that doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how much of a difference it made. And I have done this in a way that will make it much easier to up the frame rate further in the future. Although for now we are just going to be doing 60. There are still some more issues that need to be worked out before we can really like completely unlock it. Yeah, well, that's the idea. We uh we aim to please. You know, this is as much for us as it is for all of the other fans. Yeah, even though we haven't done 60 frames per second elsewhere yet, you know, just the difference in animation quality is pretty huge. It's funny there's so much animation that you can't even see in retail because things are so low resolution. Um, like if we go into free cam on the world map here, you can see Dart is actually fully animated. So I forgot that I have the camera speed cranked way up because the battle, oh God. Okay, I'm trying to move slowly here. This might be as good as we're gonna get. I'll full screen it, even though it'll stretch it out a bit. But yeah, you can see like, okay, I'm gonna try and get a little bit closer. Wait for it. Wait for it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it one of these times. All right, this might be as close as we're gonna get. But yeah, you can see like his shoulder and arm are just have like these tiny, minute little movements, and it's like, you know, this is like a fraction of a pixel, and you gotta wonder like why the devs even made these animations in the first place when, you know, there's no way that you would ever be able to see it. Like you can if you look at his chest, you can see like he's even breathing slightly. And it's just like, you know, obviously that's never going to come across on the PS1. No, I'm kind of oh God, I went way too far. Oh, I pressed the menu button. I'm kind of interested in what will happen if I open the Kulon map while I'm in this view. Okay, you do actually see Kulon come and go. That's kind of cool. Alright, when I press the movement buttons, it also does menu actions, so I'm kind of like trying to reorient here. You can actually see Kulon coming in to drop Dart off. For some reason, the battle code uses like models that are like 1,000 times bigger. Um, so I've got the camera movement set up for that right now, which is why I'm flying around so much. Yes, it is actually like it's supposed to be like a map board type of deal. You can kind of see that in retail, but it's so low resolution that it's a bit difficult. But yeah, it's supposed to look kind of like a war map. Here, I'll re-enable the standard camera here. We'll see it just snap back into place here in a sec when that recompiles. So yeah, when you zoom out, you can actually see the border and stuff. And you can see this in retail, it's just difficult to actually like see the detail of it being wood. And if you rotate, you can occasionally see the border. Not right here, but in some areas you can. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. The animation in the original literally just looks like graphical glitches. Yeah, a lot of the time it does because you just kind of see the hand jiggle. And it's like, is that actually supposed to be happening, or is that just weird PS1 jank? Because of course on the PS1 you also get like the wobbles, if you know what I mean. You know, like if you're looking at a flat wall and you're moving around, like, the wall just kind of looks like it's made of jello, just kind of wiggling around. Something I'll never get tired of is just looking at this zoom in and the zoom out when you go onto the map. Like it's just so smooth. Actually, here, let me load up an old version just so you can see the difference. All right, now watch this zoom in here. Like it looks like I don't even know. And just like look at the quality of Dart's model. We'll just put these side by side. Let's get them in the same spot. Like there's a comparison for you. Yeah, definitely the snow is the wrong size. Um, I am going to log that too while we are talking about it. Actually, I'll take a screenshot. And TFC is going to be upset that I took another screenshot of an animation. But yeah, I mean, like this is this is the difference. And I mean, this is still only rendering at uh I think I've got it set at 800 by 600. Let me just check that. see. 960 by 720. So, this is still a pretty low resolution. It will render at whatever size you make the screen. So, the bigger the window, the higher resolution it is. Like this is stretched right now, but like this is a 4.13 times resolution. You can see what scale it is here. Just the difference between this being 20 frames per second. Also the janky depth. Like if you look right here, you can see I'm standing on top of the mountain. Also the location here is also like on top of the mountain. Um, it's actually supposed to look like this. Like Dart is actually walking in between these two mountains here, and the snow or Kashua Glacier is actually in behind these mountains. Now, they did do this on purpose. Um, I'm assuming they did it because everything was so low resolution that having actual like proper depth, um, it would be so small and blurry on a CRT that you wouldn't really be able to see what's going on. Um, so it was certainly a choice that they made. Um, but we can do better now that we've got the pixels. And I certainly think that you know, this looks a lot better than just not having depth at all. Oh no, it would run fine at 4K. There's no performance issues whatsoever. I haven't even optimized the render code yet, and it runs very well. I mean, like with a uncapping the frame rate here, I mean, on my laptop with integrated graphics, while I am streaming to YouTube, I'm still, pretty easily hitting 150, 160 frames per second. And that would be much higher if I wasn't streaming. Um, on a proper GPU, it's yeah, exactly. There's really, really not much to render. Um, even once we switch to or even once the upscale project is released, like, it still will not be an issue. Yeah. Hmm. Um, is there anything else to show off? What did Drew say? Part of the point of reversing is that it's way more efficient than emulation. In terms of computer resources, so you can do only 2 to 4 resolution on emulator, you can do 4 to 16 at least on SC. Power in the GPU department, I would love to see what its frame rate would hit. Yeah, Tim, I mean, we're going to be starting to do public testing pretty soon. We've got private testing going on right now. Um, anyone who is interested in getting in on that can send us a message in Discord. Um, all that we ask is that you don't do any recording or anything like that until we are ready to start doing the public builds. You can just message either me or Drew um, in the modding channel or wherever on Discord, and we can get you added in there. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I'm using my laptop's integrated graphics, and I could easily run it at 4K. Like, let's take a look at the usage. The world map is the code that I have tuned the most for performance. So yeah, we're running pretty low on the CPU. GPU usage is relatively high. Um, but as you saw, I mean, I can run this at, 2.5 times higher. Also, this is also including the streaming stuff. So yeah, exactly, Lazarus. Ontario. Yes, we actually did make some pretty major improvements. Might as well show that off again for anyone who wasn't watching earlier. Mr. Zero Chill Button, are you running the current recommended build or are you running one of the test builds? Because if you're running the currently like officially released builds, those are not actually using the GPU at all. So once we get the new build out, your performance will be literally like, you know, 30 times greater. Like it's not even close. So yeah, for anyone who wasn't here earlier in the stream, we've gotten a lot of the particles rendering. You can see like the rocks flying off into the distance there. If I use Meteor Strike now, you can see all of the particles that were not rendering before, so it looks much better. All of these rock fragments now. The dust is another pretty big thing. Have you received any backlash from original creators or support? No, we haven't heard anything from any of the original developers. We also haven't heard anything from Sony or anyone else. Um, Everything that we're doing here is completely above board. The reason that we're able to do this without any issues is because we aren't actually redistributing any copyrighted assets from the game. You actually need to provide your own disk images like you were playing on an emulator, but the difference is we're not actually running any code from the disks. The game just so see, we've got the disk images here. And when Severed Chains runs for the first time, it actually unpacks all of the files on the disks, um, and then it just uses those directly. So yeah, we're not actually redistributing anything copyrighted. 100% of the code uh, is stuff that I have written, as well as the other developers who have contributed to the project. Just catching up on what everyone has been saying. Particle effects while using magic look so good. Yes, they really do. And yeah, that's still just the start. I think Sony sold the rights, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder if y'all received a ton of traction, if anyone would be interested in an FF7 R scope or continuation. No, they do still hold the rights to it. They did fail to renew the North American trademark. Um, but yeah, no, they still have full rights to the IP. To be honest, I feel like they did respond to SC with whatever the failed PS5 version of the game was. Yeah, honestly, it would be kind of funny if that was their response to Severed Chains, because it was not good. Like, you imagine having all of the money that Sony has and releasing a beloved game on your backwards compatibility emulator and just not having one single person actually play through the game and see if it worked before they released it. Like, it's not like it was even far into the game that the crashes started happening. I mean, you could get to that point easily within, an hour. Yet they put it out just completely broken. I mean, honestly, it's not surprising considering the landscape of AAA games being released in unplayable states and it taking a month before they put out a patch that actually makes it playable. Yeah. I mean, dragoons are kind of a big part of the game. It's kind of what the game is named after. Again, you'd think one person would have played. It's not like it was a rare issue. It happened like all the time. Yeah, we actually do our best to test things, which makes a pretty big difference. And yeah, we do try to innovate, but also keep things faithful to the original. And that's part of why we're not going to be including uh, any kind of texture replacements or anything like that in the base game. Um, everything will be retail, but we will display the retail stuff to you in the best way possible, and we'll also allow people to replace things through mods. Yeah, it's really funny looking back on like the very first SC stream, like when Drew and I were doing the first playthrough. Um, you know what? Let's actually bring up one of the old videos. Give me 1 second here. Going way back.
Streaming.
All right. Much as Square Enix likes to shovel out crap cash grabs, they will sometimes really something with lots of love into it. Yeah, I mean, depending on the franchise for sure. Still remember when you would fast track a bug fix jar for me in the middle of our first playthrough? Yeah, that happened pretty often where you would run into a crash and I would have to like frantically fix a bug, recompile the game, and send Drew uh, a new executable. And I mean, it was kind of like an arms race because while the playthrough was happening, you know, I was like, rushing ahead in my own personal playthrough uh to actually like, try and keep ahead of Drew so that I could actually make it playable. Um, before like the week before each stream, we would actually like discuss what the plans were for the upcoming episode, and I would go through and actually like make sure those specific things worked, because most of the time they didn't. I was pretty much just like trying to keep ahead of everyone else who was playing the game so that I could like, patch the code and reverse engineer parts that weren't reverse engineered yet. And yeah, just kind of try and make sure that things actually worked.
All right, let's go.
Oh, we've actually got set up
Something
here
like that. I don't
the
know if
original
you use
menu
Monoxide
before
tools right now.
long before we added campaigns. What was the date here? September 23rd. So over a year ago, but also it's kind of amazing that this was only just over a year ago.
Do
Oh
you
yeah,
have any
Tim, the game has been fully
predictions
playable for a while
for
now.
a new game? So while we go, I will occasionally play and
Look at
change
this, the
soundtracks from
janky
other YouTube videos
animated
just due to
textures
the fact
here.
that we do not have sound in the game yet. But this is still an
Oh,
amazing
we did
game to
actually have
love
the
super
shadows
detailed,
rendering
regular
properly.
playthrough and
For quite a
really enjoy
while,
every
they
moment.
just rendered as like a
And we'll also
jagged
feel
blob, like just
that
way off to the
questions, and
side.
Corey will be able to answer most of your questions, I'm sure, as we run through this.
Silence one day. You.
Pixelated,
Oh
pixel
yeah,
art.
the very nice horse textures. No borders on the text boxes or arrows or
Sometimes
anything.
it's a little bit better. Pixelated, better, pixelated. That's the one they used for this scene. We'll just pretend you hear. So Dart instantly gets branded as a mercenary. It's
I'm not
really,
100%
really
sure, but I
sweet
think we're missing
visuals
lighting
with
here, and
these
these guys'
sleeves.
textures are also
I can see
completely
them being over
janky.
textured as the chest.
Let's see some
This looks
combat.
more like Zeeg. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move that over
Yeah,
one.
the numbers being the wrong color.
And we'll do
Did we actually have animations working here?
NRE, yes, it is at least 10 lines of code. Sometimes, so sometimes changing the camera does not work.
It's quite jittery. Occasionally there are some strobing lights and things. Oh yeah, no,
So
not
if
even
anyone is
close.
really sensitive to strobing lights,
Um, Maybe combat is not great to look at. Um, it's not like terribly The Twitch dart did
yeah,
when
just
the
be a little
oh
aware
yeah,
that
the legs
for
flipping
local
around.
conditions in particular, it's going to be really jittery. All right, so we've fought off the two standard soldiers there.
Oh yeah,
We'll
all the
check the
textures are
villager.
completely broken. What else do we
Basically
have?
cutting out the dead time. So potentially having fast forwarding through dialogue prompts automatically,
Dart's armor looking
or
pretty unique.
these
The
times
smoke
being
having a bad
faster,
time.
battle transitions being faster, just shortening all that dead space. So there's less time waiting and more time doing.
Yeah, I think the speedrunning community will be
Yeah, and also, I
adding
mean,
features like that.
1 year of huge
I do
progress,
plan
but
on
also,
like quick text,
at this point,
cutscenes
the project was already
to
like
fun stuff
two
like that.
years into development just to get to this point.
Looks like I'm getting a bit of a graphical glitch from one of the old text boxes. Those snazzy graphic effects.
Yeah.
We'll see some more
Okay,
janky combat
slash.
animations.
That's the other thing. I hope I just happened to think of everything I wanted to mention because I only have a small list prepared. But with any luck, I would like to talk to Nogard, the project lead for the fan dub, about helping us create voice mods. If we can get permission from those voice actors within the fan dub project who are doing, Dart Lavitz and all
How
their
far did we
additions,
end up getting
could
here?
we bring those voices over potentially and make a voice mod at some point um, as an optional feature? Can't wait to get out of here. Looks like a Silent Hill monster.
Oh,
So,
right. This
just a quick,
also,
you don't have to
Drew
be a
wasn't
part of
playing this
live
in fast
stream
motion or
to
anything.
see this. I
Um,
hate
it
FOMO.
just didn't
Experiencing
run
it
at the
is
right
fun. I
speed.
don't believe in it.
Uh,
There's some
Combat
glitches
was
on my
way
end,
too
so when
fast.
possible, I like to make sure recordings are available. So we're going to be doing that. These live streams, if I set it up right, we'll have it'll automatically go into a playlist, and that playlist will grow one more video every week, and you can catch up whenever you want. It'll also include chat
I
replay,
wondered
so you can
if
see
we
other
got
what we're
to
saying in
a
the moment and
boss
all that
fight.
stuff.
Oh, we've got the Void. I saw a frame of it. Right, the
Woo!
River Void.
You waited for me.
I did. Here it comes. Oh, it's rendering.
Because we didn't
It's
have
floating
water or
away.
anything like that rendering.
Woo! It's just
Amazing.
glued to the side of the
Amazing.
stone. Because who cares about gravity? Dart should be like, why? Let's do a mod where we like undo the optimizations and reintroduce the graphic glitches. A glitch mod.
I want to see a boss fight. Because the boss animations were ridiculous. I clicked on the wrong thing. This should have the Ouroboros fight.
I think it's working. Shot with an arrow, so of course he would slip on the rock. I never really put that together. I apologize.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Won't work for everyone. There's no way we really can stream when everyone's awake, but we'll always have the recordings available to make sure that no one has. I always
Oh
forget how
yeah, it's been a
emotional this felt
pretty
earlier.
major
It's
change
really
since
emotional.
even July.
All right.
Yeah, it's very abrupt too.
Oh yeah, forgot about the crunchy skyboxes.
That is going to be probably like a day one mod
Definitely.
for that to allow you to have more items.
Items fire.
Animation's looking surprisingly fine
Rocket station.
here.
Which in this, I was able to.
Like I said,
No, it's a good feature. I love having that support. Don't take that away, please.
Let's see the cutscene,
All right, so now we're gonna guard a little.
because
bit.
that's
Try
gonna
to
be
use my
good.
magic, but it's a little hard for me.
Okay, I was looking at chat and I kind of missed that. All I just saw was some
That was
flying around.
quite a hell of a twist.
Random rainbow in the background. Oh yeah, those camera angles.
All right. You know, here's a mod idea: pausing the game if that's possible. Because
Pausing the.
yeah, so I have time to pause the game and then start up the tension music.
No heads.
Ah, gotcha. During cutscenes.
Yeah, that's okay.
The
Let's just
horrible
pretend
face
it's.
textures.
Whoa, what's going on with the camera?
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this is way better than it used to be.
What is going on? Darcy!
Drew is losing it.
Um, I just got to the part of the stream where yeah.
Oh, so good.
I'm gonna cry.
So good.
Why'd you do that to me, Corey?
You know, as much as it looks better
It's just
now,
how it is now.
there's
Back
definitely
for this
something
live
about
stream, put my
these,
webcam on.
hilarious bugs. Let's see the
Oh, the
Kongal
rosy
cutscene
cheeks are coming out. It's already really warm in here.
since we watched that in high res earlier. Oh right, the rave lighting. Forgot about that.
We're just spamming this ability tonight. You gotta be honest, this is hurting.
Oh, and this was back before additions actually worked. There was a bug that made it so that they were always successful. Wow, Kongals,
Kongo.
this is looking great.
Alright, let's see this. Oh no.
I gotta get ready for Dart's theme.
Dart is floating.
Rose has no head.
These are some dramatic camera angles.
It's floating.
Oh, he
Yeah,
lost his
this is
head.
this is everything I imagined it would be.
Lavitz, where are your pants? What's going on with this guy? Oh, there's too much going on.
Kongal's head just disappeared.
Rose's arm is missing.
Just missing body parts
Oh,
left and right.
There's an establishing shot of the background. Oh, that was wonderful. Oh.
What else did we have in this playthrough?
Okay. Rod Typhoon, yeah, no kidding. Like, really do the additions. Isn't that great? I tried to spin in my chair, and I just. If you're gonna. I got the, oh, no option. I got. Kidding. It's invisible. Wow.
Oh yeah, at this point.
You just snapped out of nothing.
Right, the flat dragoons. Forgot about that. Also, dragoons completely breaking the battle stage. Let's see let's see that transformation again.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Told ya.
nailed it.
Snapped out of nothingness into 3D space. That was. Oh my god.
I told you it's
Yeah, back when we didn't have music or anything. Did we have sound effects at this point? I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, there you go. We'll do a Wii port, and you got to use the Wii remotes to do your additions.
Oh, that'd be great. Because it's like the hilt, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Volcano Balloon?
We have to go to rescue the knighthood.
The Martian.
Yeah, this was just over a year ago. I wonder if I can find the last Kraken one really quickly. Where would the last Kraken be? End of March? March should be 9 months ago. This looks promising.
Streaming and start recording again.
That's eggless. The
Looks like it's
embiggening of Savin, I think.
interestingly,
Or no, that's
Mr. Noish.
is
Mr.
that
Noish,
Noish? Yeah.
Minister Noish has something on his head there. If we can get it down a little bit more. Okay, there's something on the head. We have to go bigger. Let's go 16.
Enhance.
Enhance. Enhance. Enhance again.
Here we go.
It's sort of off tempo.
And it also crashes the game. That's the more important part.
Yeah, it's unrelated.
This was
But,
probably the single greatest
so,
fight
we don't
of
have any
the
tea today.
entire series.
I'm busy working on
We
some
determined
crafting
that
stuff.
Savin
I'll
has
get
no
back to that,
body.
but you know, it'll be sometime in the coming months.
To prevent the are gonna
Doom's
models.
We were embiggening here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Drew, you're gonna have to do this
Apparently
again
the face is under that,
on the
like,
OpenGL
shell.
branch.
Oh,
Go
we
through
need
and embiggen
this-
everything and take screenshots. Alright, come on, let's get to the fight.
Kraken fight model is really trippy. Like it had too many whipped cream debuffs in a row.
Yeah. I'm done with the whipped cream, I promise. For tonight, anyway. So I had a thought. Why don't we play the League's battle music? We have 2 burnouts. Oh, mod idea, Corey. Item sorting option.
I already
Alright, so we're gonna...
Okay,
I
so
don't have speed down.
for context,
Alright, we'll do
uh,
a power up
Drew is going to be using
Miranda,
power down
and a power
on the
down
last
on
Kraken. Little did we know,
Shit, it's Miranda's turn.
power down was actually inverted.
Regret my choices instantly.
So it powered up the last Kraken,
Crap.
and there was also a second bug that
I
made
think
it
it's
last
more worth it
forever.
to run power down than to attack
So
right now.
this entire fight
Okay.
was basically on hard mode. We didn't realize this until after the fight was over.
Alright, now we gotta do... What all do we got? Okay,
speed up on Miranda.
Yep, speed up on Miranda.
Drew is trying to be strategic here.
Next level strategies we can finally employ after collecting so many items. Now we need the Psych Bomb X, the Acid Trip 101, and I'm gonna try the S key here. Oh, I almost got stage 4, not bad. Holy cow. 1011. But the sound effects were
I don't know, it was pretty funny at the time.
Alright. Now,
Wonder
I've got
how
material
long this
magic
fight
shield
is.
if I need them. I'm not going to chuck magic with Maru. I'm just going to do some D attacks for the moment. Because I want Miranda to expend some items.
Okay, it's actually like 30, 40 minutes.
You fixed all the crashes,
Okay.
right?
I was planning on watching this entire thing, but it would be like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I don't need to do that. Alright, attacking Hashel is good.
Which is kind of unfortunate because it was hilarious.
I'm sorry. Underneath. The one with the angel robe. He does know in 2007. September 2007.
Yes, the yellow bug.
One of the first people to show up was Nick. Latch in the chat. and we end up doing game dev together.
Oh
and
yeah, we
wow,
had a healing item miss.
Nick, I'm so sorry.
We
I hate
had
to say this.
Miranda die, but stand
I'm
back
so
up.
sorry. All right, so I can't do that, but I will do a Star Children. Work them down. Hi, Havoc. It's going pretty havoc-y right now. Oh my god.
Yeah, we had a very interesting occurrence happen. After the stream, you may want to back up to the beginning of this fight and just give it a watch.
Watch the whole stream. Just, even if you're busy, like put it on while you're doing laundry or something. The sequence of events of this stream, like, it
And
was like we're mostly
all of
just,
these bugs
getting
were
through
only 9
Agnes,
months
right? The
ago.
whole stream has been Agnes. And yet,
One at a time.
oh my god. All right, I can't really justify
Yeah, we've
diamond
been talking
dust.
about doing that
Work
for a
just
while. Like going
Yeah.
through and finding all the best moments from the stream and just making one big supercut of
Everything
them
is fine,
because
thank
there
you.
was some hilarious
One of my
moments.
trademark lines is, it's absolutely fine. Semi-borrowed from Colin Mockery. Alright, we're almost out of editions, so... What?
Yeah, Drew,
We're
we should
almost
see
out
if
of
we can get a
Dragoon
couple of people
terms.
to
How
kind
did
of
I...
help go through the
I put
videos and
words,
find some
I
of the
still
best
got a
moments.
perfect despite that. Oh. Hang in there, party.
Oh
that's
yeah,
cool.
that was an animation.
Fatal Blizzard, here we go. That is not... You cannot make that out. Ah! My eyes. 837. Oh no, not 2 in a row. No. Okay, Spear Frost on Maru in Dragoon form is the best possible move. Best possible. Only 200 damage. We're fine. Me?
No, Kynan got.
Okay.
Chronic says I will double check, but I'm sure this fight is correct.
So Maru's supposed to take 1200 damage with the Resurrection build.
And of course, the whole
At
time
the
we were
very least,
telling
the
Drew
Miranda
that
thing was not supposed to happen.
everything happening in this fight was legit.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
because the in joke with Zycronix is who, and therefore just doesn't.
Dart level 31, Rose 33, and Albert 31.
That sounds grossly overleveled. Am I underleveled?
You might be underleveled.
How am
And
I
everybody in
underleveled?
the
I
chat
used heart
saying that
potions, but that shouldn't affect my
the
life.
damage seems to be
And I've
normal.
grinded additions, which should have gotten me extra experience along the way. Am I really underleveled? Wow. Okay, well, maybe I just don't know how to play this game, I guess.
Alright, just for fun, let's start up the last Kraken fight and see how it looks now. That's actually something that we haven't looked at. 432. Gonna be the wrong battle stage, but that's fine. Alright, let's compare this. Yeah, quite the difference. Yeah, we like we've said before, like it's pretty amazing how much detail there actually is in the textures, even though they obviously could not be rendered to their full potential on the PS1. And everything is just so very smooth. Drew, I'm somewhat concerned by the message that you just sent. Yeah, in the left image, you can't really even see the extra lower eyes. Like, I don't think I would have even known that those were supposed to be eyes that were wiggling around. I guess you can kind of see
Guild is
it
also 30 plus.
briefly. Yeah, I never realized that either, Zychronics. Yeah, a lot of things read better. Like I am notoriously terrible at doing additions in retail, but and even on like older versions of Severed Chains, but on the high res Severed Chains, I can actually do most of them. Like even Ultimate Editions, for characters that I don't use, like I've been able to do them pretty well. I've been screwing them up on this stream because I haven't been paying much attention, but like I'd never use Kongle. Hey, rude. I just did that. I missed the last one. But anyway, like I don't exactly know what it is, but yeah, I guess just like the increase in resolution. We did make the edition squares slightly bigger. Yeah, we've done a few comparisons here, and it really, really, really is a huge difference. The only way I could do them consistently was to just hit the button before the indicator lines up rather than right as it lines up. Yeah, so that's another difference with Severed Chains, is that there's basically no input lag at all. Um, on the PS1, there is between 1 and 2 frames of lag, which is fairly significant in combat because it's only 20 frames per second. Um, so that's like, 1 to 2 frames would be 50 to 100 milliseconds. However, on emulators, that can be much worse. Like some of the lower quality ones, sometimes you can see like 3, 4, 5 frames of latency. But yeah, on Severed Chains, there is no more than 1 frame. Oftentimes, it's less than a frame. So, you basically press it at exactly the time that you would expect to. Mod idea, a slider to increase the window allowed for additions and de-additions. Yes, we do actually plan to allow you to select the addition difficulty. I'm going to press the secret win button. And we do have very, very basic options for that right now. There is, you can choose your addition mode. You can choose between normal and automatic. Automatic is basically like a free Ultimate War God. And you can turn on automatic Dragoon editions too. which does basically the same thing but for dragoons. We will be expanding that, of course, to basically make it so you can make the additions harder or easier, depending on your skill level. Basically, we want to make we want to make it so that you can tailor the game to your skill level. I am a advocate for playing any game in whatever way that you find fun, rather than in the way that the developers intended you to. So, we really want to add configuration for all kinds of things. Same reason we added encounter rate configuration, inventory size configuration, save anywhere, et cetera, et cetera. You can also turn the edition guides completely off if you want to, so that you have to do it by memory. The win button is technically a feature, but it is a debug feature. It is something that will be moved into the debuggers later on. Just right now, I have been doing a lot of testing with various combat things. So being able to get in and out of combat very quickly with a hotkey is super useful. It's not going to be completely removed, but it will be moved into the combat debugger so people don't accidentally press it. It would help if it were arranged to hit the addition rather than that skinny line to get additional hits. Not 100% sure what you meant by that. Would love a friendly addition slider for when I want to still press the addition square, but without it being as strict. Yeah, we definitely do want to make the difficulty options very, very granular, so you can really tailor the game to exactly how you want to play. It's also worth noting that most of these settings are actually saved per campaign. For anyone who's new, we have a setup where rather than just having a flat save list, um, every time you start a new game, you're starting a new campaign, and you can configure what mods you want to have enabled and what settings you want per campaign. So, I could have one campaign that is, completely retail settings. I could have another campaign that is, automatic additions and, lots of easy mode stuff. And I could have another one that has, like, Zychronix's hard mode mod enabled. And you just select what campaign you want to use, um, and then you've got your save list for that campaign. Just catching up on chat. We have not implemented controller vibrations yet. That is actually a limitation in the controller library that we're currently using. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do about that because we need a cross-platform solution. If we were to use something like X input or whatever, it's much more difficult to get everything going cross-platform. We are eventually going to look into a solution for that, but yeah, it's not in the cards right now. It's a bit unfortunate because the library that we are using has had an open issue to implement vibration for like years. Let's see how long. Yeah. Um, oh God, that issue was 6 years old, and it was closed as a duplicate of number 57. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this issue has been open for 10 years, and they still have not implemented it. Yeah, any day now. Any day now. We'll start on this at some point after number 900, which is a comment from over 6 years ago. It is, in fact, sometime after this issue. But yeah, I don't know what the holdup is there, but hopefully they implement it. If not, we will probably have to start looking into some other libraries. Um, it's just a bit unfortunate because most of the libraries that we use are bundled up by LWJGL, and they handle all of the cross-platform stuff for us. It's very, very easy. We just kind of have a few flags in the build script, and it just kind of does the thing. We don't have to worry about packaging anything ourselves, which is something that I want to avoid at all costs, just because it increases the cost of maintenance drastically on our end. And as a team of people who are working for essentially free donations, any amount of maintenance costs is a huge drawback. But yeah, we would like to implement vibrations as soon as we can. But yeah, not going to happen until at least um, the next release after this one. Unfortunately, with the high quality rendering, you can really see when Kongle is made of cardboard. Yeah, 10 years, pretty low priority. Finally got the overlays like water and stuff working in OpenGL, and it makes a really big difference. We don't have them quite aligned correctly yet, as you can see here, like this water effect's kind of rendering on top of the railing. But even with the current support that we have now, it makes such a big difference in how these maps look. Yeah, you want to see something kind of funny, actually? I'm gonna load up Leningrad here real quick. Yeah, Zychronix has been working on aligning those. So, you might not have ever noticed this, but this guy is a cardboard cutout, and both of the shopkeepers are cardboard cutouts. Um, if you go to Fueno when everyone's gathered to talk about hunting down Kamui, like half of the characters in that scene are just cardboard cutouts. Yeah, the water on that map looks really nice. Same with all the smoke in this map. It makes such a huge difference in the ambiance and all the crystals kind of sparkling in the background and everything. Yeah, I've we might actually replace everything that we can with 3D models just as part of like the base Severed Chains modifications. Um, obviously they did it because they were having issues with performance. Rather than rendering a 3D model, it's a lot cheaper to render a 2D cardboard cutout. But we don't have performance restrictions because we are not running on a PlayStation. Modern hardware obviously can do a lot more. So, everyone who actually has a 3D model, we may look into replacing those with like real models just placed in like an idle animation. Because yeah, you can really see the difference in the high res OpenGL rendering. It's not so bad on like the old Severed Chains because the 3D models kind of were the same quality anyway. Was a level cap ever set in stone? Yes, the max level is 60. Um, but it takes a very long time to get there. Most of the experience in the game comes from boss fights. So, once you run out of bosses to kill, um, you got to do a lot of grinding to level up. I think that's fine because we always viewed it as 3D models because we couldn't tell when it was such low resolution. Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. I see it as, like no downsides, only upsides. Wherever we have 3D models for those specific characters, I don't see any reason that we shouldn't just make them 3D. It'll just look better. All right, we've actually been going for 3.25 hours now, so I think we'll wrap it up here. If there's anyone in the chat who is interested in supporting this project, um, there will be a link to my Ko-fi account in the description. We've also recently enabled super chats and things like that on YouTube, so we'll see how that goes. Um, it would also be great if anyone who hasn't could like the video, subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a lot. And I would like to give a shout out to my current supporters, Dart and Veen for the recent donations, and my monthly subscribers, sorry, the Packle, J-Man 001, Deningrad, Sparta, Shepherd, Zach, Sonlin, Doom Metal, Platinum Sarge, Milk Lizard, Chocolate, Vince Easter, Balder, Ambi, and Forrester. And I hope that everyone has a very good night. Hopefully, we'll be getting back on schedule here, doing this every Wednesday. I'm finally mostly feeling better after literally a month of being sick. So, here's hoping. And yeah, have a good night, everyone.